It was right here 3 weeks ago when protesters opposed to COVID-19 vaccinations and passports stood outside the hospitals here on University Avenue trying to send a message to patients and frontline healthcare workers. Only now, some protection is in order from City Hall just down the street.
You know, when you're working in the operating room, when you're working in the ICU, you shouldn't be able to look out your window and see people protesting against what you're doing on the inside of the walls.
When those opposed to his work, fighting against COVID-19 on the front lines, came to his work, Dr. Raghu Venugopal stood up in defense. Having to stand face-to-face with protesters is not something he signed up for as an emergency physician, and so he hopes more can be done.
I think a number of politicians and policymakers have come out strongly in favor of protecting healthcare sites, but what we're really waiting for now, and as we're seeing happen in Quebec and other jurisdictions, is actual legislation.
Some Toronto City councillors are now asking that a rapid response protocol be developed, along with Toronto Police, to address the harassment and intimidation healthcare workers have faced.
What are you hoping police can do at this point beyond what they've already done?
Well, again, the police are really caught in the middle because the fact is there's no clear rules for them to enforce. So therefore, we have to perhaps try and find a way whereby a city, through a certain bylaw, can have a clear rule to enforce. So they're not sort of ambiguous in terms of dealing with these protests.
A measure that has been discussed and used elsewhere in the country where more protests have taken place is to set up safe zones around hospitals and healthcare facilities.
MM 3648.
The hope is to fast-track recommendations and have them brought back to Council for approval for its next meeting in November.
Without question, is a buffer zone around hospitals. I think the footpaths can't be blocked. I have witnessed with my own eyes patients needing to come into hospital with a police escort. That should never happen again.
Quebec has made it illegal to protest within 50 meters of schools, hospitals, vaccination sites, and testing centers as of a couple of weeks ago. Those who are involved in those protests could potentially be fined between $1,000 and $6,000. Mark Mcallister, City News.